Hello everyone, this is Sian, Archer and Olive Ambassador, also known as @PerceiveGrace, both on Instagram and YouTube. Today I'm going to be planning a summer staycation in my traveler size Archer and Olive bullet journal. Be sure to check out the corresponding printable link down below for some staycation ideas that are super practical and that are a little bit more vague, so you can customize them in a way that works well for you. To go through our supply list, I do have it listed out on the left hand side of the screen there, but I'm going to be using my handy dandy traveler size Archer and Olive notebook, my Archer and Olive calligraphs. I pulled some colors that I think match the washi tape as well from Archer and Olive pretty well, and they also remind me of summer. You may or may not be able to find some of these washi tapes on the site right now, but definitely check out what is available. And I'm also going to be pulling in my scissors. I do use a paper cutter later in the video. I'll be using my Archer and Olive stencil or ruler, and I am pulling in some summery scrapbook paper that I really liked, and of course I need my dot grid Archer and Olive notepad as well. Lastly, I'll be using some planner tabs. You can totally use washi tape to create tabs if you might have done that before, but I'll be pulling in these Archer and Olive tabs. Let's get started. This one's for the homebodies. It's also for those who prefer not to or cannot travel. You're not alone if making travel plans is not on the docket for you this year, and whether or not you have the PTO to spare, you can totally implement your version of a staycation this summer using the journaling layout in this video. I am really big into using scrapbook paper right now, so just to get us started with sort of like the quote-unquote cover page or intro page to the setup, I am using scrapbook paper. I really like this scrapbook paper because it's a grid pattern, which will allow me to write on it, but then it has this really pretty wildflower design at the bottom. And then I'm using the strawberry print that you see on the left hand side as well, because strawberries and wildflowers really make me think of summer. Of course, you can utilize this entire idea for this spread any time of year, but we're thinking of summer right now. These planner tabs are from Archer and Olive. They are the Keeper of Bees planner tabs, and they're from the Archer and Olive Spring 2024 collection, and they're just super beautiful, and they matched the color scheme enough of what I pulled, so I decided to use these. You can create tabs out of washi tape. I'm sure a lot of you have done that before. I've done that before. I do find it a little bit of a headache. I just think I'm not that great at making them. I've seen some people make them and they're just super crisp and beautiful, but I struggle with making them, so buying these printable planner tabs from Archer and Olive is a perfect solution for me. And just to kind of disclaim, you'll see that I stuck them on to the paper like a sticker. I do have a cutting machine at home, so I did print the planner tab printables on sticker paper, and then I cut them with my cutting machine. But you can totally still print them on sticker paper at home with just your printer and then hand cut them once they're printed out. Or if you don't have sticker paper, don't want to get sticker paper, you can use regular printer paper and hand cut them still. So there's other ways to do that, but I wanted to let you know because you can kind of see that it's a sticker when I'm taking it off. Just know that if you buy those, it's a printable, and you can, kind of do what you will with that. I am on the left hand side creating a set of like a place to put intentions for this experience. I think that this is a great idea because leaving room for intentions, and then on the right hand side I'll leave room to reflect. It definitely allows you to treat the staycation more like an experience that's separate from everyday life, because you're going to be staying at home, you're going to be surrounded by the same environment relatively speaking, and so kind of just to make it feel more like that staycation idea, allowing yourself to create intentions for the week, for the days that you're setting aside for this, I think is really helpful. And then at the end of the experience you might reflect, or you might commemorate it in some way, like pasting in ephemera from the experience, or like memorabilia from it, or photos even. Some intention examples to include might be: I want to enjoy every moment, be present in every moment. I want to maximize the time off that I have. I want to try as many new things as I am able to try. I want to lay aside the heavy things that have been on my mind lately. I want to honor my routine during this time. I want to start and finish one book a day. I want to declutter my home. I want to explore my town and see it from a new perspective. So those are just all some ideas for intentions that I thought of that give it more of that staycation feel and kind of just allow you to quote unquote mentally get away, at least insofar as you're reflecting on the experience. Moving on, this is where I'm starting to create the spreads that are actually in the setup. Kind of like, it's going to feel like an itinerary for your staycation. And each day has the same layout where I'm dividing or categorizing the day into 6 categories that I felt like I could divide a day off into and have in the past. So the first category is reset, the second category is self-care, the third category is reading, but you could totally replace reading with any sort of hobby that you feel like is like your number one hobby. I know a lot of people read, but maybe you have a hobby that definitely overpowers your love of reading too. Maybe you knit, or you make music, or you play music, or you sing, or whatever. Any sort of other hobby that you really enjoy doing, you could replace that with reading. I really love reading. I read a lot other than journaling. Reading is definitely my top hobby. Category 4 is adventure. Category 5 is a no-spend activity, and category 6 is dinner. For dinner, I just picked my favorite meal of the day, so that's dinner. Your favorite meal of the day could be breakfast, or it could be lunch, or it could be something else, and maybe that's your favorite meal of the day that you want to indulge in throughout your staycation, kind of like you would on regular vacation, where you go to eat, or you would buy a drink or buy a fun dessert or something. So dinner is my meal time to do something fun with that. And again, if you don't have any ideas, that printable I mentioned at the beginning of the video has some vaguer ideas that you can use to kind of customize to you and your personality and what you like, because everybody is very, very different, and everyone views spending their free time very, very differently. All the spreads are relatively the same, like I said, so I'm kind of showing you a speed run of me putting down the tabs, because that's always fun to watch. It's satisfying. And then I'm just showing you that I'm lettering the days at the top. Again, I didn't specify this to a certain week during the summer. I just kind of did day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I modeled it after the fact that maybe I would take PTO Monday through Friday during a whole work week and use that as my staycation. But you could totally create something like this over a long weekend, like a 3-day weekend, or just a 1-day thing, or a 3-day thing, whatever works well for you. But I think in general, we can all feel pressure to kind of get away at some point in the year, and that luxury to do so is not always there. Or maybe you just have an aversion to traveling. I personally am more of a homebody and don't love traveling. But, as journalers in general, we like to put our life on paper proactively and retroactively, and planning a staycation is no different. I hope you found this helpful and give it a try this summer. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.